Hi, I'm Misty McKithen, and I want to be your guide on the path to illustration or other story art careers, especially if you're homeschooled, because I'm a homeschool mom and I love to share what I know with kids who were like me when I was a kid, and you love story art. And we will do fun things like characters and scenes and lots of information that you need to know in upcoming videos. In this one, I will be talking while you watch me draw a mermaid for Mermaid. And I would like it if you would grab a sketchbook and draw while you listen. Alright, we're going to do a process video of this mermaid drawing, the mermaid reader. And while we're doing that, I want to talk to you about what you need to know about story art. What is story art? I use the term story art as a simplification, really, of a whole group of careers and hobbies that all center around making art for books and other types of story. I prefer the term visual storytelling. I would like to say that all of these that I'm about to mention to you are in the grouping of visual storytelling. I might be stealing that term from others that I've listened to, but it's perfect. To me, it's the perfect term. What is illustration? I'm going to say illustration most of the time because I'm an illustrator. Okay? I have spent a lot of my time preparing to do children's book illustration. So that is the main place that I'm coming from. But there are several things in the grouping of visual storytelling that are separate from illustration. Illustration, of course, is about books. So children's books, junior novels sometimes have illustration. Cover illustrations for many books, adult and children's. And then other groupings that you may be interested in within visual storytelling are animation, storyboarding for films, comic books, graphic novels, video game art, and concept art. Now, concept art is going to be the most vague and confusing topic of all, but we will get to it eventually. In the end, I'm going to probably tell you a little bit about each one in upcoming videos, but I'm also going to direct you to some other people I know that are great. They have great videos about some of these specific ones. If you have a special interest for something like video game art, I will let you know who you can go and listen to or watch that's safe for viewing. So the thing about story art that's confusing is that a lot of kids, I'll say kids because that's where we start. We start off as kids who like to do art, right? I mean, I certainly did. And most of you, if you are in art, even if you're a teenager or an adult, you probably started liking it as a child. Most kids are good at art when they're very young, if they try at all. Because spontaneity and not overthinking things actually helps you with art. So kids can be really quite good at it before they get to the, I think I've always heard that around 4th and 5th grade, you develop this part of your brain that makes you worry about what people think. And that's when the art skills get very difficult. Isn't that funny? You could be great and then you get this, oh, I hope people don't think I'm bad at this, and then suddenly you get bad at it. I don't know. Because perfectionism is a killer of creativity, and we'll talk about that in an upcoming video also. But for today, I just want to say that most people, when they're kids, they love art, and then later they may go into art as a career. And you may be like me. I went to art school. Well, it was the art department of my local college. And once I got there, I was told not to major in drawing or painting. And the kind of art I had hoped to do was never mentioned. And if I tried to show the kind of art I like to do, it was quickly dismissed. Oh, no, that's not what you do. You'll just have to learn in class what to do. And so the type of art that they want you to do in art colleges generally is studio art or gallery art. It's just making art for art's sake. It's not for telling a story. And because it's not for telling a story, it's very subjective. It's all about what you want the art to be seen as, or what you're trying to say to the world with this art piece. Now, we'll have a much longer discussion about that in another video, I'm sure. But for now, I just want to say that characters and story are a very far cry from the type of art that is studio and gallery art, where you sell one piece and it's done. That piece of artwork is done. The kind of art that we want to do is you create characters and scenes and story bits and world building. It's all about imagination. And some people in that specific art type, studio, gallery, college, university programs, they will frown upon this kind of art and say it's commercial. Yes, you get paid for it. And it's not just that. Obviously, you're hoping to get paid for your other art, your gallery art. But in this case, sometimes the person who's paying you specifically tells you what they want the art to be, because they want it to fit the story. Then you make the art. Something about that has been taught as wrong. Like you're a sellout, because you're creating art for the specific purpose of getting paid. That's not necessarily the way you should look at it. You should look at it like there is a story that needs telling, and it needs visuals. And I'm the visual person, and the author is the other storyteller. We're working hand in hand, and it's going to be a beautiful thing. And art is about beauty. And even though a lot of traditional artists may think this art isn't beautiful, in my opinion, the story is. The story is the beauty. And sometimes the art is beautiful too. So that's what I wanted to talk to you about. You may be wanting to go into art, and then you may find this strange, confusing reaction from people who they don't know the difference between the kind of art you love and the kind of art they see and produce and or teach about. So, one thing is to don't worry about people who don't get it. They just don't get your art. That is normal. Okay? We have when we meet a fellow person in this group, in this same world of story art, and we know we're a kindred spirit, that's when we get a lot of joy out of it, because that's our people. And the rest of the time, people who they see your art and they want to encourage you, but they don't really understand the difference between it and this other, don't worry about them. Let them encourage you. Tell them thank you. And when they try to get you to steer you into something else, don't worry about it. And the other thing I want you to know is that the skills you will study for in those curriculums and the skills that you would study in those university classes are still the skills you're going to need for this. You're still going to need composition, basic design, drawing skills. You're going to need painting skills, color skills, lighting. You're going to need to study all the old school stuff, shading, lighting, everything. Basic forms, human forms, anatomy. These are all things that you can get in either of these focuses. Okay, so that's what we wanted to talk about today, just to get you straight on what is story art and uh, what are the videos that are going to come in this series going to focus on? The videos are going to talk about some of the skills you need that are very specific, like creating a story scene, character design. Well, I love character design. That's my favorite. A lot of us love character design. We're going to talk about expressions, facial expressions. We're going to practice those. Another thing I want to mention is that whenever I have a process video like this and I'm speaking over it and I'm helping you learn a little bit more about this kind of art, I think you should have your sketchbook out and you should be drawing along. Not drawing what I'm drawing, but getting some inspiration from somewhere. Maybe collect it up ahead of time, some reference photos or inspiration or some sketches you want to fill out more. And then sit down with this video playing and work on yours, because I want to encourage you while you work. And I'm just here as a sort of coach. I mean, I haven't made it yet in my field, but in my opinion, this is a path. And this is the way I look at it. It's a path, and there are many different ways on this path. There's many different endings to this path. If you want to be an animator, there's a different ending for you than if you want to be an illustrator. But a lot of the path is the same for all of us. And a lot of it is stuff you can learn on your own or on the internet or through many various ways I want to talk to you about, where you don't necessarily need a course at a college or a high school that is specific to this field. Okay? All right, and I just want to say again that my name is Misty McKiffin. And this drawing that you're watching here is a mermaid from my sketches from this last month. You may not be familiar with the Mermaid Challenge online. Online artists have certain challenges they do every year that have just become very trendy. And there's a couple of them, 3 actually, that I love to participate in every year. And I will be talking to you about these, of course. And one of them is mermaid. That's just a word for a challenge that says draw a mermaid every day in May. There are other challenges such as March of Robots and Inktober, which is my favorite, which happens in October. And those were started by Jake Parker, who has his own videos and tutorials and books and everything. And I'll be talking about those again later. But for now, I just want to say thank you and join me again to find out more to help your illustration path. I am a homeschool mom of 4, and I really want to help homeschoolers. I love to teach this stuff to homeschool kids because when I was that age, I didn't have all this information, and I would have loved it. And I teach illustration at my local co-op, which I always enjoy, and I just want to be a guide along the path. That's all. I'm a little farther down the path, but not at the end, and you are at the beginning of your path, and I just want to give you some tips and tricks and information, anything I can do to help. So like and subscribe if you liked this video. Thank you. So I hope you liked that video, and you can leave a comment about other questions you might have, other things you want me to talk about in the future, in future videos. And good luck with your art, and please continue to draw as much as you can, fill up sketchbooks as much as you can. That is how you really get better. It's just work on it. Work on it more than your peers, work on their art, and you'll get better. It's not a matter of being born with a certain amount of talent. It's a matter of doing the hard work, and that's how you get anywhere with anything. So thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you want more videos like this. Thank you.